Join me as I take on the challenge of cash stuffing my way to financial freedom, and we save a month's worth of expenses in just 30 days. That is the question today, guys. So if you want to keep watching, let's get right to it. Hello guys, hello. So welcome to today's video. We are cash stuffing in a simple yet powerful concept that revolutionizes the way you manage your finances and achieve financial freedom. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of it, let's talk about why we need a system like cash stuffing in the first place. Okay, we've all been there, stuck in the cycle of overspending, living paycheck to paycheck, and wondering where all our money goes. It's easy to get caught up in the convenience of credit cards and digital payments, but the truth is, it's doing more harm than good to our wallets. Without a clear picture of our spending habits, we're left with the sense of financial uncertainty, always wondering if we'll have enough to cover the bills. And let's not forget about budgeting, or lack thereof. How many of us actually take the time to sit down and create a budget that actually works? It's easy to get overwhelmed by the numbers and eventually give up, leaving us with a financial mess on our hands. But what if I told you there's a better way? A way to take control of your finances, curb your overspending, and start building wealth. Enter cash stuffing, a tried and true method for managing your money, and it's ridiculously simple. So how does it work? The concept is straightforward. You divide your expenses into categories, which we covered in the last 3 episodes of Friday Night Budgeting 101. You create envelopes for each one and fill them with an allocated cash. That's right, cash. No more swiping, no more online transactions, just cold hard cash. From rent to groceries, entertainment to savings, every single expense has its own designated envelope. When you use cash, you feel the pain of parting with your hard-earned money, and that is the truth, guys. I feel it. I don't like using my cash or spending it, but I know that's what it's intended for. You become more mindful of your spending, more intentional about every single purchase, and trust me, it's a game changer. No more mindless swiping, no more buyer's remorse. You're in control, and that's an incredible feeling. So I want to share a story with you. A friend of mine, let's call her Sarah, was drowning in debt. Credit card bills, student loans, you name it. She was stuck in a vicious cycle of minimum payments and interest rate. But then she discovered cash stuffing. She started by creating envelopes for her expenses, and slowly but surely, she began taking control of her finances. We all could do that, right? She cut back on unnecessary spending, started saving aggressively and within a year, she paid off over half of her debt. And that's amazing, guys. Can you believe it? A half a year. The change was astonishing. She went from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered, and that's what it does, guys. That is what it gives you. The power of cash stuffing lies in its simplicity. It's not about complicated budgeting software or tedious spreadsheets. It's about taking control of your money, one envelope at a time. You see the cash dwindling, you feel the pressure to stay within your means, and before you know it, you're building wealth. So what are the benefits of cash stuffing, you ask? For one, it helps you stick to your budget. When you see the cash disappearing, you're more than likely to prioritize your spending. 2, it curbs overspending. No more impulse buys or emotional purchases. And 3, It helps you build savings. Think emergency funds, retirement, a long-term wealth at the end of the tunnel. So in conclusion to this, guys, cash stuffing is a powerful tool for achieving financial freedom. It's not just about managing your money. It's about taking control of your life. So I want to hear from you. Have you tried cash stuffing before? What are your thoughts on this method? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out my other budgeting videos for more tips and tricks on your journey to financial freedom. And guys, with that being said, it doesn't take a whole lot of money. Yes, you go and watch budgeters. Yes, you go look at those YouTube videos. Even me, you know, I have built, you know, a good stockpile of different kinds of savings that I've been working on. But you don't have to go exclusive. You don't have to go to the extent that some of us do have. We all started the same way. In my opinion, that's what I feel like. We all started in that same journey to want to be out of debt, to want to be free from the financial strain that money can cause because of our spending. And so this is where I'm coming to at the point where all the videos that I've given you in the past month from on those Friday night budgeting 101s, we are leading up to the cash stuffing process, guys. And so you take all of those categories, you take all those things, those past 3 weeks of video that I showed you that, you know, gave you the breakdown. Is that right? Is that how I'm supposed to, the breakdown? I don't know, for some reason that sounds weird. But it gives you the breakdown of from start to finish. Things to look for, things to categorize, things to list out, ways to find where your money is going. And look at it, tackle it, you know, go on, you know, full throttle and look at what you're spending your money on. Yes, we get over into our overspending. We want to be able to, as we say, you know, keeping up with the Joneses, if we all could, right? But you can't keep up with the Joneses if all of it's in a negative balance. So, and that's where I'm trying to get to myself, is like, I want to be able to say, I'm not keeping up with the Joneses, I'm keeping up with Jack. And that's what I'm going to be doing, you know, the remainder of my life. That way I don't ever have to feel that financial burden again. And it does pay off, guys, because I don't feel as stressed. Other things may cause me stress: work, relationships, any of the other sort. Those things happen, you walk away from them, and you come back out of it, right? But my thing for financially is just to walk out of that burden and never feel like that ever again. And I'm taking those steps. I'm following those guidelines that I gave you, and I'm going to apply them to my cash stuffing. And it, like I said, it doesn't take a bunch. It doesn't take a lot. If you can start small, then start small. Like I started mine, and I will say, guys, I wish I had some of the ones I started off with. And you may have see it on my first video, but that video was horrible. I look back on it, I'm like, oh my gosh, why would I even look at this or make this? But it got me out there. It got me to push forward. It got me to start focusing on the bigger picture at hand. And so my first envelopes that I created, and it was like maybe 3 or 4, and what I did was I cut out construction paper. I had some old construction paper, probably from when my kids were in school, and it was colored. I decided blue and red. I was gonna, you know, cut them out into little envelopes, like the ones you see in the binders, and just, I did not have a laminator, and I did not have anything to really make a cash stuffing envelope. But what I did have was tape. And so I taped, and I wanted to laminate it. For some reason, I don't know, I was so gung-ho about laminating it, even though I didn't have a laminator at the time. And I completely covered that, and I think it was in box tape. So it was a wide clear tape, and I basically cut out each of the envelope, or like 2 or 3 page, no, it would be 4 pages because 2 for each color. And I basically made my envelopes, and it was only 6 that I made. That's it. That's all I started with. And even at that, I don't even think it was 6. It may have been maybe 3. And it was just for house, car, and emergency, and miscellaneous. I think that was all I started off with. I had no idea what I was doing at that point, but I knew that those things were the priority that I needed to do. And that's what it started. That's where I began my journey with cash stuffing. And I'm going to give you some pointers on how, like I just said, I created my first envelopes with because I could have used the envelopes, the actual envelopes, and I do have some here. I'm going to show you. I could have used those, but I wanted something, and I could have probably just drawn on the envelope to make it pretty, to do the little fun stuff. But I wanted something like colorful. I was like, red and blue, I love primary colors. It's like, do it, and then tape it all to make it look like laminated. I'm gonna put, you know, each category that I'm starting with, and that's what I was gonna use. And I started with that, and I was content with that. And whenever I could move into something else, then I did. But I made it with my own 2 hands, and that's what got me started on budgeting. But if you want to take another route, and there are plenty of other routes that you can take without going crazy. If you guys saw my last video, I gave you all 21 channels that gave you freebie savings that you can start with. They're digital downloads, and I even explained to you where to go get those freebies. But there was 21 channels, and out of those 21 channels, you could get 370 savings freebies. That means if you want to do the coloring, there's some channels that do that. You print out their pages, and you color each icon, save up to that money, however much is set for. Once you do complete it, you decide what you want to do with that money. Okay, is that going to go into my self-care? Is that going to go into a priority sinking fund? Is it going to go into a low priority sinking fund? It's all based on how you set your own cash stuffing envelopes and where you want to move those to at the end of the savings, right? So another thing you could do, and it's probably the easiest, and I never even thought about this up until I just said it just now, but you go to Dollar Tree. And of course, everything used to be $1, but now they've gone up a little bit on their prices. But you can go and get some envelopes. These are just regular 3.65 inches, 3.625 inches by 6.5 inches envelopes, and you can use these and start writing out what you want to put. So let's see, and you get 80. This is old, so it may be different now, but you can get these, and you could say, okay, so now we're going to create this little envelope, and I'm gonna make it cutesy, and I'm gonna put heart, hearts everywhere, and you can draw around it, you can color, you can, if you're artistic, you can do different things for it to whatever's gonna draw you in on this envelope, okay? And for me, I was just plain Jane. I just put the name of emergency on my little 2 construction paper pieces together, and that's all I did. And I put emergency. And maybe you decide, okay, we have the emergency here. My goal for emergency if we follow the zero-based budgeting and the snowball effect, is $1,000, right? So let's say, so we got $1,000 and we want to go ahead, and maybe you don't download, maybe you don't have a printer, maybe you don't have access to, you know, to be able to get those freebie savings that I told you to go, that you could get. Maybe you do have envelopes, and even at that, old envelopes, and you decide, okay, so I'm not going to download any of those savings, but this can be my saving. And so I could put little hearts everywhere. Since I started off with the hearts, I might as well continue, right? And you just draw a bunch of hearts, even if you had a stamp of hearts, even if you had some kind of different things that you could use to make those, you know, whatever design you want, right? So you're just coloring, making all these different little hearts every which way, and to you know, and however many you decide you want to go with. If you want to continue to fill this up as much as you can, make it as tight as you can, then, and when you're done, there you go. Okay, so now we have a savings and we have a cash stuffing envelope. My goal is $1,000, and so now, okay, let's see how many hearts we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 28, 29, and let's go ahead and just give it one more, 30. Okay, so we have 30 little hearts we can play with. So we're going to get our calculator, and we're going to divide it by 30. So that tells me each of those little hearts is $33. So I would put heart equals $33. So each heart that if I say, you know, you're beginning and you're like, okay, I can only put $10 aside, then do that. You don't have to follow, you know, my dollar increments. You can set your own increments, or you can even turn it around and start doing hearts here. Add more hearts to lower the value of the hearts. So if you add another 30, you can, you know, that goes down to 20 or however much, you know, and you just keep on. And so you can determine. So then you get your cash. We get our cash. Let me see, I have some cash here somewhere. This is actually for a different savings, but for video purposes. So say you have, this is all you can bring, even if it's $1. Even if you're like, you know, yeah, I have these set at $20, but we're gonna take it slow and steady, you know. And so say you can only bring 5 instead of a $20 bill, and then you go and you're like, okay, well, let's do something different. We can go and start writing $5, just, you know, in the empty spaces. Put those extra little dollars that you can, and then you just go, and it fits perfectly into this envelope. And guess what? You put this away, I put this away. I won't ever think about this. I will not think about this until, oh, wait, I have a savings for that. Let me pull it out, because I do have more money to add to this, and I'm gonna do that. So then, and what I would do, guys, I'm telling you, once I put it on this envelope and I stashed it away somewhere, say, you know, I had my little, you know, little setup here, and I just was like, okay, that's where that's gonna go, and that's where that's gonna stay. I'm not gonna touch it. And never do I think about that money. In all the binders I have, and I have plenty, all of them have cash. Well, not all of them, but majority do. Or they have the prop bills, because I put my money into a high yield savings account. But I never think about the money. So this is a good way to start putting your money away. Like I said from the day one, or since the beginning, me doing this is my shopping. This is where my shopping goes. This is where, yes, of course you have your variable expenses. That is why you cash stuff. You pull money from your cash stuffing. You put that money into your wallet, and that's your spending money for the week, month, however you get paid and however often you do it. But this money is gonna be like, I shop at my savings. That's it. My store is my savings little binders. That is it. And so that is just the way to start the process, guys. Okay, I'm gonna take that 5 out of here because I do not want to lose it or leave it in here and tell you forget about it for real when it goes to something else. So we put this aside, and you don't have to get the this extravagant things that a lot of people do get. Use a baggie. Or maybe you have another envelope. Maybe you have the bigger ones and you go to the bank and you're like, here, I got an envelope. It's however your preference, guys. Do not overwhelm yourselves. Do not stress yourself about it. If you can put $1 to your savings that day or that week, by all means do it. Because I guarantee you, you're not going to think about that dollar. You're not going to. You're going to put it out. It's out of sight, out of mind. It will stay away until you're really ready to tackle another savings toward it. And then it gets back into your mind. And then you're like, okay, and as time goes on, you feel more and more, you feel more of these hearts, color to them in. And you're getting to the end of the line. Right? You're getting over that, what is it, the finish line. And so that's where you can, start that process of making your own little savings. And maybe you just make those each $1. And whatever they fill up to, then you're like, okay, well then I'm gonna create another one and another one. Build it up to $1,000 each envelope. Maybe it's, you're just gonna be doing $1 each, and however much is in this envelope, you just accumulate it to add up to your $1,000 emergency. Those are just ideas, but we're cash stuffing, guys. And another thing you can do is, Dollar Tree does have plenty of things that you can get. A lot of the stuff I use still, I've purchased at Dollar Tree, and I don't go crazy. I went crazy when I was doing the whole crafting thing. I did that for sure. I went and spent so much money at Dollar Tree because I was determined to craft, and I never started a dang thing of crafting. So that was money down the drain, and that's still to this day. I have boxes of stuff that I purchased from Dollar Tree because my anticipation was to get a craft, project started. Never happened. But Dollar Tree has other things you can save with. You can use this. Dollar Tree has the little fake dollars that, especially for kids learning in their educational learning aisle. I know it's like seldom, like from time to time they won't have them, but they do have the actual dollars when people are teaching their kids how to count cash. They also have little coins you can purchase. I wish I had some. I do have some, but I don't have them with me, and I have no idea where they're at, and I would have showed you. But also, guys, look, I got this from Dollar Tree. Maybe you don't want to do this. Maybe you're like, that's just not me. I don't care for that. Maybe you just want something simple and easy to get into. You also can buy something like this. It's a little file folder. It comes with its own little, and I did use this at one point, and that's why it's empty. I don't use it anymore. But look, you pull it and you have that many different envelopes sectioned off by the fold, and you can just put your money into each of these. So this one's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is made more for like full-size pages to file, but you could use it for that as well. But also, I mean, and then it has individual pockets that you can use. And this I also got at Dollar Tree, guys. And then I put, maybe you could put something here. You can do whatever you can to start the process, guys. And then even at that, like maybe you decide, okay, well, yeah, I want to do that and I want to label it. So you buy little labels. This wasn't from Dollar Tree. This was actually from Walmart, if you're familiar with Avery. But I do love these labels from Avery. But also there are labels you can use, you know, to spruce it up. You can use, Dollar Tree has the little labels as well. They have markers, they have everything, index cards. Maybe you want to use an index card as your tracker. Okay, there you go. You get index cards, and now you have a ways to track your money. So those are just some of the things that you can. But let's go ahead and get started, guys. Let's get that cash stuffing started and start that process. This is where the fun begins. And once you start it, guys, you will have fun. You know, I'm telling you, I enjoy doing my cash stuffing, and I enjoy doing the videos because it helps me along the way. You know, doing this helps me, and it can help you guys. It's just a matter of taking that time. You don't have to start with $100. You don't have to start with $20. You don't have to start with $5. Start with $1. Just say, all I can commit to is $1 a week. $1 a month. Maybe even go into a coins collection. You guys know I have a penny savings challenge that I'm working on. But you tackle it. You start that process. And as you continue to do it, it becomes second nature to do it. Continue. You're like, oh no, it's already in my head. I already have $5 that I can put into this week, and I'm going to put it. You don't have to go extravagant. You don't have to go, you know, into buying a bunch of savings, buying a bunch of different little binders, things, you know, you don't have to do all that. All you have to do is start it. Maybe you even, you know, you find an envelope somewhere that you didn't think you had, and you're like, okay, there's my first envelope. That's it. I'm putting $1 in that. Each time I get $1, I have $1 to spare. I'm gonna put it in there. And once you feel like you're ready to pull that money, it'll add up. It'll get you there, guys. And so that is today's episode. I keep yawning, guys. It's already, I feel like I am so drained. I don't know. Anyways, that's beside the point, guys. But yeah, that is today's video of us starting to cash stuff. We went through the process in episode 1 of learning to not fear money, right? We don't want to fear money. We want to have a relationship with money. We want to build confidence with money. Then we did the whole different steps to start your zero-based budgeting. And then we also went into steps of, you know, the next, I mean, as far as like starting to categorize everything within that zero-based budget. And then episode 2, we had other, you know, budgeting ways, types that you could use. But my focus is always zero-based budgeting. Find the one that fits you. Find what works for you. You know, maybe you don't like the whole concept of having all those different savings, or maybe you don't like the whole concept of, you know, coloring anything. You're like, I just want it plain simple. Let me throw my money in there and leave it at that. Then do that. At least start somewhere. And I hope you guys do get to join that journey and become part of that journey, because your stress relief will lessen. It will. I'm not to say that it will take away all your problems. It won't, but it will take one thing that's causing you stress away. And that's where you start building wealth, and that's where you start building those steps that you can take to get to debt free. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you take what I given you as tools, as guides to help you. And I hope that this journey gets you going. With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shove off, give you back your day. Hope you have a great weekend. Much love to you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.